This man had two families who had done two marriages. This was with him his first wife and his daughter. His daughter was opening his eyes and taking it out like that because he was not ready to give any inheritance or any maintenance. This girl and her mother taking out money very carefully closed his briefcase. Between these two or wife, there was going to be divorce. That's why his wife was forced to take the step. The girl addressing her husband says that, I want to talk to you seriously, but her husband is not willing to talk about any kind of thing and says that now what to talk about. But woman helplessly says that, whenever I talk to you about your responsibilities, then you make some excuse. And yes, I have known one more thing, that you are going to New York on vacations with your family. Rather, you don't behave good with us at all and don't even give food to your this daughter. Then that man in anger says, yes, we are going, so what? Just then the child comes calling papa, papa, but he angrily says, I am not your papa. Saying this, he goes away from there. His wife calls from behind, but he does not stop. After that, she says to her son, and my dear daughter, don't worry, we took what we needed, now run from here. Today, while going to office on the way, he calls his wife, that my dear wife, how are you? Wife says, did you bring something special for me? Husband says, no, nothing special today, everything is usual. Just then, his eyes fall on the briefcase which he feels open. He says, wait, I talk to you again. When he opens the briefcase, the money is gone, then says how greedy woman she is. She took my money and thinks I will not leave her like this. He immediately starts searching for them, and their woman says to her son, come here, dear daughter, I think now we are safe. Now show the bag, give the money. Then her son says, wow, mom, so much money. Then his mother says, yes, son, this money will now be enough for your school exams and for your vitamin medicine also. But all this, their father secretly was hearing everything and watching them. She says to her daughter that I agree our way was not right to take money, but it was our need because your father never gives us so much money at once. Daughter says, Mama, can I ask you one thing? Mama says, yes, my dear. Why my papa doesn't love me? Then her mother says, no, daughter, your papa loves you very much. Just forgive me, my daughter, one, that at this small age you have to do all this. And second, that I couldn't give you a good and affectionate father, such father who listens to you, supports you, and loves you very much. I am sorry, my child. Hearing this, her father's heart became very soft, but he didn't show anything in front of them. After listening to their talks, he came to them and behaved very nicely, softly, but his wife becomes very wrong and necessarily says, what have you come here to do? Her husband also gets angry and immediately says that this purse has my money, but she also says, no, this is not your money. His talk comes to snatching. He starts snatching the bag from them, but suddenly, there that man's second wife comes and hides behind tree watching everything. She stands there and calls her husband. When her husband picks up the phone, he talks to her very lovingly and says, yes, we are going, my love, how are you? She says, I am fine. Just I was feeling a little confused and suffocated at home. My heart was getting tight being alone, so I thought I should come to the park. I am in the park at this time to take cold and fresh air. You know that such condition of mine is not good for my baby. He says, you did very well. You walk a little. I will meet you right now. Saying this, he goes from here. Right after he goes, the child says to her mother, Mama, what will we do now? All the money they took. But her mother says, my child, you don't worry, I will do something. While listening, there his second wife comes and says, I felt very bad for you people. I was standing there and listening everything. But that child's mother behaves very badly with her and says, what do you want from us now? And what have you come here to do? Now what is left with us that you came to take? That man's second wife says, you are understanding me very wrong. Actually, she came to them with a kind and sympathetic feeling, and she said that I saw with my own eyes that the money he snatched from you, he had no right on that. No one had any right on that. Only the girl had right on that. Then her co-wife says, I felt good that you had sympathy for us, but we cannot go begging sympathy from one to another asking help. Then they make a plan together. After that, that woman goes from there. There she goes and meets her husband, and her husband also meets her very happily and says that I felt very good meeting you. My heart became happy. I cannot tell you that with that woman, I never got the real wife feelings. After a while, she sees that bag in her husband's hand and says, where did this bag come from? Her husband tells her the truth, etc., and says that this I didn't get anywhere far. It was lying here, and I picked it up. So she also takes the bag from him and says that this bag, whoever's it will be, I will return it. And she starts loving him. In that moment, with her other hand, she gives that bag to that little girl standing behind, and the husband doesn't even know. After that, when she succeeds in her purpose, the children take the bag and go from there. Then she starts talking normally with her husband. After talking normal routine things, they start a little argument between them. The wife says to her husband that after my baby is born, you also will not recognize him and will say I am not his father. He says, why are you saying this? She says, because you are a selfish man. The way you don't recognize your first daughter, same you will do with me. He says, you are thinking wrong, I will never do this. But the girl keeps saying these things and makes him very angry, and they both start fighting a lot. And the girl in argument says this and goes from there, that I don't want to live with such a selfish man who after the baby is born will say that I am not the father of this baby, and that baby never got the feeling of having a father. I am not a helpless woman who stays with such a man. After that, her mother becomes very happy and hugs the girl and says, my daughter, forgive me that you have to take your right with so much difficulty, sometimes by snatching, sometimes by stealing, but I will not let these conditions stay for long. I will work day and night for you, and I will not let you lack anything. I will give you every comfort of life. We would never have taken this money this way if it was not our right, if your father gave you your right peacefully. Then she was giving her daughter swing, and her manner changes a little. He comes very lovingly and says, can you people give me one more chance in your life? But his wife says, no, never. Now this can never happen. He says, I'm feeling ashamed for what I did. But his wife says, we in our life now have no need of a selfish man like you. I can raise my child on my own. After that, he addresses his child and tries to talk lovingly and stretches his hand. But the child's mother pushes his hand away and rejects him. Now he very cunningly says to the child, did you think I was really sympathizing with you people? I only adopted a new way to take my money. Then that woman becomes very angry. She takes her daughter and goes from there. When later he opens the bag, he finds it empty. Then he keeps shouting, and the mother says to her daughter that I knew your father's reality very well. That's why I had already hidden the money somewhere else. Just then, his co-wife comes there. She looks at her co-wife with very thankful eyes and hugs her and says, thank you very much that you helped us in our bad time. Even if it was not much, you tried completely to get us our right. Such goodness maybe no one else would do with us. Believe me, that man never tried to give me respect, love, or my right, and not to my daughter either. I am very grateful to you for all this. But her co-wife says, no, there is no need to thank me. I only did my duty because I know that the nature of a person never changes. If I had known that this man has such a nature, I would never have married him. I didn't know in what conditions you people were living. What he is doing with you today, tomorrow he would do the same with me and my children. It is very good that I saw his real face in time. They became good friends who listened to each other's happiness and sorrow and started wishing each other for a good future. If you liked our story, then like it and subscribe to the channel, because your one subscribe makes our heart happy and gives us more courage to bring such new and interesting stories to you.